we've got just the necessities for a bagger right here. This is a 2021 Harley-Davidson Road King Special for your pre-owned bike of the week. What's up, guys? I'm Isaac here at Tobacco Road Harley-Davidson, and we have your pre-owned bike of the week, this 2021 Harley-Davidson Road King Special. Pretty exciting. This is, it's interesting. It's a bike that's paradox here. It's one that has such a high legend, but at the same time, it's often overlooked by a lot of people, because when people think bagger, most people think Harley-Davidson Street Glide, which we have plenty of, come see us, and then or Harley-Davidson Road Glide. Now, with the Road King, biggest difference with this bike was that it's going to be the same chassis, the same basics down low, but you're not going to have a fairing. So you can put a windshield on, your own type of fairing, or if you just really like that naked cruiser look, but really want all those bagger benefits, you got them right here. Now, this is a 2021 Road King Special. It is pre-owned, and so with that year with the specials, you had these stretched bags, which some people miss and some people are glad they're gone, but they're still iconic either way. And then, of course, that 114 Milwaukee 8 motor. I'm going to go ahead and crank this thing up, show you what it sounds like. Oh, I forgot I locked the ignition. So this uses a key fob, and you can also still lock the ignition. Not that key. But you've got the Road King in case you forget what model you're on. The simple bagger controls is pre-owned, so a couple minor things here. So you can lock that ignition if you want, as you just saw, and then you can just unlock it and then turn the dial. Hit your switch here, fire it up. Sounds pretty good. So with a couple of features that were added on, these are some taller bars. You've got some Renthal grips, and then this speedometer here. I'm a huge fan of the speedometer because you have analog speed and analog tack, which is really nice, and then some good readouts there, including your fuel, which you also have an analog fuel gauge over here. It is a big 6-gallon tank, so you can go take this thing wherever you want. It's got the battery tender down there. It is set up for a passenger as well. Big bagger fender. Other than that, it's pretty basic stock. 2-in-2 exhaust. 2-to-1-to-2, and then you have some extra lighting here on the back in those bags, so lots of good visibility around. And with that year, you do have some bright lights added on up front on this big nacelle is what I believe the technical term is for it. So we're going to do a quick lap here and show you what this thing is all about. So it is a little bit newer, looks like, so it looks like it does have traction control too, so that is really nice. Oh yeah. So the Harley-Davidson Road King. Some people argue that this is one of the best handling Harley-Davidson motorcycles, big twin motorcycles, that exists. It's got hardly any weight on the front. The bagger tire setup, which gives really good handling. But like I said, the biggest thing is going to be that there's hardly any weight up front, so you don't have really any extra fairing up there. And it's going to be the lightest of the baggers. So imagine your Harley-Davidson bagger, but stripped down a little bit. So these bars are fantastic. This is the stock seat, and this stock seat, big old floorboards. But most importantly, with these big bars, this is making it right here. Oh, and it has vehicle hold control. Look at that. That got added on. That's cool. So in case you're not familiar with what that is, essentially, what it lets you do is if you're on a stop sign, doesn't have to be a stop sign, but it doesn't sense like, oh, there's a stop sign here. If you're like parked on an incline like that, like at a stop sign, like you just saw, you can actually squeeze and hold the front brake a little bit tighter than you probably normally would, and it'll actually go ahead and hold the front brake for you. So that way, it makes it a little bit easier to do a hill start. Or if you just really need an extra hand and your bike's kind of parked on a hill like that, it works out pretty nice. Helps you out in a bind. It keeps you from being in a bind sometimes. But you got the big sporty rear suspension in those bags. This thing is made for putting miles on right here. Give this fellow cyclist a little extra room. That 114's pretty peppy too. But a good bit of lean. Push it too hard right here. Yeah, I can do a quick glance down, kind of see where I'm at in the revs. Yeah, throw a simple fairing up on this thing. You'd be good to go. I can throw in 6th gear, which I have my little indicator down there so I can see what gear I'm on or in, which is really nice. So I pop it up in 6th gear and then lean back and cruise down the highway on this thing. You're good to go. This thing's ready to get some miles put on. Very simple layout control. You do have cruise control, which is essential for a bagger. If you're going to be putting a lot of miles on, that cruise control is going to help things out quite a bit. Also, things that make baggers nice, this 6-gallon tank. So, now this is a 2021, so it is part of that previous generation of baggers. So it's not gonna have a lot of the real fancy updates like we have on the 23.5 or the 23 CVOs and then the 24 and 25 baggers. It's not gonna have a lot of those upgrades, so you won't have the fancier integration of tech, nor will you have the improved suspension, improved handling, 117, all that stuff. This is pretty basic. Harley-Davidson Road King. It's a 114 Milwaukee 8, ready to rock and roll. Lots of good low-end torque. It's stock, but it still sounds pretty good. It's got enough of a rumble to keep things exciting. It's a bit of a nippy day here in Raleigh, North Carolina. When we say that you can ride mostly year-round, this is the part that kind of falls just outside of that. We just had a pretty big snow out here. You can ride right now, but it's still pretty cold, and there's some ice and snow kind of piled up in some spots, so it makes you want to be a little bit extra careful. But once the snow melts off, then it's only like, in the 20s or 30s, so it's not terrible. Throw some extra layers on and go cruise all around. So this one's actually going to be using a cable clutch, not a hydraulic, which you saw in some of the early year street glide and road glides. I say early year, the early year of the Milwaukee 8s, earlier year of the Milwaukee 8s. I consider 21 to be an earlier. I guess probably 21 is a mid-year for the, well, not mid, but kind of middle year for the Milwaukee 8s, for that generation, for that edition of the Milwaukee 8. Now we're on the center-cooled Milwaukee 8s. Same basics, just new cooling, utilizing actual coolant instead of just an oil cooler like this one is here. A little bit of snow over there. Motorcycles and snow, not the combo you want. Only downside to this fancy speedometer is with losing some room of your speedometer for your tachometer. First time hopping on this bike, doing your quick glance down to check your speed is a little bit tougher, just to kind of see exactly where you are. Ooh, we're gonna take it very slow right here. We'll let all that ice over tonight. That'll be cool. I just always love how good these bikes handle. And they're so simple. You got all these bagger perks, but if you're not a huge fan of the big infotainment system, you ain't got it. If you don't feel like you need it, then you ain't got to worry about it. And if you like the Road King, I do believe we have some 25s working around. Like I said, 10,000 miles. I can swap through this thing up here to see what all we got going on so far as beyond just our odometer. So I can tap this here on the top of these controls. I can see my trip A, my trip B, my fuel range, which is really nice. I can see a clock. Can also see front and rear tire pressure, which is huge. That's a super nice benefit on these touring bikes. That way, you know, right before you leave, you know, you don't really have to go crawl around on the dirt to get everything checked. While it is still good to do an actual check of your tires, it is nice, you know, while you're on the road, you can just do kind of a quick little, okay, front and rear is looking good. You don't have to ask the guy behind you how your tire looks, or kind of ride around on the right and left, swerve a little bit to kind of see, okay, my tire feels pretty normal. You can just flick right through and see, okay, there's my front, there's my rear, or oh wow, my rear is very low. I should probably pull over and check that. So it's the little things that make things pretty nice. Can pop it right up in neutral, and there we are. So this is a beautiful balance of timeless, classic Harley-Davidson motorcycle with that modern tech, and that's really that sweet spot. That's really where we like to see things, and this bike is doing it really well. It honors that timeless heritage as the Road King really well, and you still have a lot of really nice techs. I have tire pressure sensors. That's awesome. And I have some other rider safety enhancements, so that's really nice to see on a bike that looks this good, and it rides good. I'd go ride this all day. This is a bike you can just hop on and point in a direction. I could probably go with like some kind of fairing up front. I wouldn't mind that, especially on a day like today where it's a little bit nippy. But summertime, pop that thing off and soak it up. Soak up some sunshine. I really don't mind these mini apes here. It's a good shoulder height, leaves the view nice and open. If you're more of a T-bar guy, then you could easily, it wouldn't be that hard to do because you've already got your cables if you like this height. So nice easy adjustment right there. So this is it, this 2021 Harley-Davidson Road King. So if you want to know more about this beautiful bagger, then be sure to come see us right over here at Back Road Harley-Davidson and learn more about this bike. Come see some other Road Kings we got too. Check them out. See what we got. So in the meantime, ride safe, and we hope to see you here at Back Road Harley-Davidson sometime soon.